Thank you, councillors. We need to start. It is 10 o'clock. Can I request that the work of council open for us officially? Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker. Here baie dankie vir oggend. Kom ons na u toe en ons loof u en ons prys u vir wie u is, my Here. Here, terwyl ons vanoggend, Here, hier in die chamber sit, Here, gee ons die eer vir u. Terwyl baie mense vanoggend, Here, wat in hospitale lê, sommige het afgesterf. En vanmôre, Here, is dit 'n voorreg om ons voor u te bring, Here, en te vra vir beskerming onder u kosbare bloed, Here. Dankie, Here, vir ons communities daar buite, Here, en ek wil bid oor die hele Saldanha streek. Here, dat u vanmôre, Here, ons mense sal aanraak met u kosbare bloed, Here. Here, ons verneem COVID is terug en ek bid dat u naam, Here, oor alles uitroep, Here. Dankie dat ons weet dat die bloed van Jesus, Here, Jesus elke merk gemaak het en ons gee vanmôre die eer, die lof en die aanbidding vanmôre aan u, my koning. Vader, wil u met ons seniors wees, wat u hulle sal beskerm om ons leiding te gee, en alles wat ons doen in hierdie dag, my koning, en bovenal, Here, wees vanoggend saam met ons communities daar buite, Here. Vader, ons weet, Here, aan u kom die lof, aan u kom die eer toe. Seën hierdie dag en ek bid dit in Jesus naam. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Councillor Schippers. Indeed, we have lost quite a few people in our wards in the whole of Saldanha Bay. And quite a few of our councillors are also ill at home. So, leave of absence, I just want to say that leave of absence is Councillor Jackson. She's very ill, she's at home. I did speak to her this morning via WhatsApp. She's got acute laryngitis and bronchitis. Councillor Zandile Komani has got an abscess and she's very ill. Also Councillor Cleophas. And then Councillor Luando will be a little bit late, but he will join us later today. So councillors, please look after yourself, look after your families, and be safe and warm and healthy. Thank you, councillors. There is no leave of absence. I see your directorates are all here. Thank you. Councillors, thank you. Then I'm at the evacuation protocol. Chief Latega.
Good morning, all protocol observed. Speaker, Mayor. Once again, before we start with the business of today, we need to emphasize again the evacuation procedure for all councillors and visitors within the gallery. Emergency exits will be at the back, and all councillor members will exit from the right-hand side. Councillor Chambers, please adhere towards the evacuation procedure. Myself will conduct the evacuation procedure for all councillors inside. For all visitors, the bathroom will be on your right-hand side. When you want to make use of the bathroom, request for assistance, and we will escort you to the bathrooms and then back again. Thank you, Speaker. Okay.
Thank you. Chief Latega in his uniform. Thank you, councillors. I'm at item 4/6. Can I have a proposal and a secondment for the confirmation of the maker minutes? Proposed by Councillor America and seconded by Councillor Mamabolo. Confirmation of the minutes of the special council meeting of the 29th of May, item 5/6. Can I have a proposal and a secondment? Whip of Council proposed. Secondment. Alderman Schrader, second. Thank you. Declaration with interest with regards to matters for this agenda. Councillor Kutse.
Madam Speaker, jy het sopas onder my aandag gebring dat ek dalk miskien moontlik 'n konflik van belang het in een van die items wat handel oor die dissiplinêre komitee.
Thank you, Councillor Kutse. Please note that Councillor Kutse has declared his declaration of interest in the item on the DC minutes. Thank you. Councillors, thank you. Then I'm at item 7/6. I haven't received any emails from the district representative. Alderman Schrader, is there anything you want to elaborate on? Any feedback from the district?
I just want to say that the landfill site is up and running. Can you hear me? Oh, sorry. The landfill site is up and running, and the West Coast District's also got the mandate to go on with the road function. So that's one of the biggest things for us on this moment.
Thank you, Alderman Schrader. Councillor Kutse, do you have a question?
Yes, Madam Speaker, I'm quite interested, maybe it's somewhere, I didn't pick it up, the dam levels at this moment. It's always a contentious issue this time of the year. We've had some good rains in some areas, but it's always a good indication what lies ahead next year. So if she can maybe elaborate on that. Thank you.
Thank you for the question, Councillor Kutse. Councillor Schrader, can I request, because last time we did receive the dam levels, we didn't receive anything in writing, so that we do get the item that is served before WCDM, so that we can have information with regards to that. Thank you, Councillor Williams.
Speaker, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Speaker, just a question. Is Councillor Kotze allowed to speak in council?
Councillor Williams, yes, he is allowed to speak in council. Thank you. There was another declaration. Item 67.
Just in terms of item 67, we have sorry, Speaker. Just in terms of item 67, we have one of our directors that is nearing retirement. So in that position, when that is discussed, we will just excuse the director.
Thank you. Then I am at item 9, Executive Mayor.
Madam Speaker, I would like to propose item 9 to 67, but I just want to mention that on 66 and 67, Council still have to nominate the person that must serve on that committee. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Executive Mayor. The Whip of Good has given me a list that he wants to speak on some of the clarities for the items the Executive Mayor has proposed, and then I will also note Councillor Morrison's hand on the minutes of the portfolios. Councillor Williams? Who's going to speak first?
Speaker, once again, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity. Speaker, just a few questions for clarity. On community and operational services. Item 9. Speaker, I would just like to know, and you must just correct me or guide me, the community halls, does it fall under this directorate? The reason why I'm asking, Speaker, the community hall in Langwell has been signed off, and it is in full operational. But there is certain stuff outstanding, and I'm going to make a few examples, Speaker. There's no ventilation in that hall, and then the bathrooms, the lights, they only have one switch. I would just like to know who signed the community hall off, because if you go into the ladies' bathroom, you switch on the light, then the male's light is also coming on. So I don't know who signed it off, and is it correct? So that is the one, Speaker. Then the other one I would just like to know with regards to the vacancy. of the caretaker. Langwell Hall, yes. There's a vacancy out for the St. Helena Bay Community Hall, but there's no vacancies for Langwell Community Hall as yet.
Advertisement.
Yes. So there was a permanent vacancy there before the hall burned down. So what is the process there with regards to the advertisement of a new caretaker within the Langwell Community Hall? And then, Speaker, the last one that I want to raise is with regards to the appointment of the senior sports coordinator. I know that we as councillors cannot interfere in administration, but as a matter of concern, Speaker, and I say this with all due to respect, the candidate that was appointed is from Bergrivier Municipality or from the Veldrif area, right? So my concern is, or my question is there no, or was there no competent person within the Saldanha Bay Municipality who got their qualification for that vacancy? Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you for your questions. Councillor Witbooi and then Morrison. Councillor Morrison, he says you can go first.
Good morning to all our residents, viewers tuned in, and all colleagues around the table. I greet you all in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, our Savior. Madam Speaker, item 12. It is with grave concern that I draw to your attention the fact that the EPWP project has come to a complete halt as of 12th of June this year. The abrupt termination of an initiative that has provided crucial temporary employment and income support to vulnerable community members is deeply troubling. What is more alarming is that according to page 26 of the PCNO's agenda of 20th May 2025, I see there's a balance of 1.6 million that remained unspent, and it indicates as at 30 April 2025, the documentation presents detailed financial calculation that confirms this surplus, which raises a critical question: why was the balance not utilized to sustain or at least phase out the project more responsibly? I understand that from the 30th of April up till the 12th of June, obviously there's been some monies that have been paid from that 1.6 million. I would like to know what is the balance that's left still there. That's on item 12. Item 13. This item is about how we are performing our budget. Our revenue and operational spending look good, but our capital spending is only at 40%. This means we are not delivering important infrastructure our people need. We must act now to speed up projects, and then the question is the problem with planning, buying processes, or staff capacity? And then, just a word of advice, we need to work together so that our budget delivers real improvement for the people of Saldanha Bay. And then going over to item 15 up to 18, which talks about the holiday resorts. The low occupancy rates are worrying. Our resorts are not making the money they should. We need a turnaround plan. We need to study the market, improve our marketing strategies, and see if upgrades are needed. Our resorts should support the local economy and not drain it. We need to look at ways and means to make them profitable and to keep them busy. Yeah, then I've got other items, but it's under other portfolios, Madam Speaker. Would you allow me to continue?
Please do. But before you continue, I've just got a concern. In the portfolios, we make it open so that everybody can have their say in the portfolio. So I've just got a concern. If you want to raise everything that you raised there, then
Madam Speaker,
it forfeit the purpose. No, allow me to finish. I didn't ask you to speak. Thank you. So if you had questions for clarity, like Councillor Williams has had questions for clarity, and I do understand that because he didn't bring it up in the portfolio. So we can have questions for clarity. I just have a concern. Councillor, you may continue.
Madam Speaker, we think there was ample time. There wasn't ample time. There was not ample time, and as we're sitting around the table, the ones that were present at the committee meetings, there was not ample time. There was not ample time. No, there wasn't ample time. I don't think we need to debate on that because...
Can you continue, please?
Okay, thank you, Madam Speaker. All right. The next one would be item 20. And this one deals with supplies chain spending and the approved deviations. Every time we hear about deviations, it raises concerns about how fair and clear buying processes are. We need a full explanation for each deviation to ensure we stick to proper procedures and avoid wasteful spending. Let's
Councillor, please sit down. Councillor, in the item, for every deviation, there's a detailed explanation. So what you're raising here now is incorrect.
Okay, I retract that one, Madam Speaker. Let's continue to 25.
Can you please count? There's a point of order. Executive Mayor, raise your point of order, please. Thank you.
Madam Speaker, I'm concerned here. I'm hearing statements, not questions of clarification. And secondly, this council decided to extend the time to double the time. In that period, and maybe the public need to understand it too, of our portfolios. That is specifically then all the managers, all the departments are there so that each person can answer the question. And I'm happy for a point of clarification. I'm busy.
I'm still waiting for your point of order.
My point of order, Madam Speaker, is can we hear the questions and not statements? Thank you.
Point of order, Madam Speaker.
To what rule is the Mayor raising, Madam Speaker?
That's why I asked him, he must raise his...
I raised on relevancy, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Councillor Morrison? Mayor rose on relevance. Item 25 in the rules of order. You may continue your questions for clarity. Thank you.
Item what, Madam Speaker?
Relevance. Thank you.
I think at this moment in time, Madam Speaker, allow me to bring in a motion, Madam Speaker.
You cannot bring a motion now. Thank you. Councillor, please. Thank you. Councillor, please. Can you continue and raise your items?
Do I continue, Madam Speaker, or will you hear my motion in terms of rule 53, Madam Speaker?
Yes. Say the rule.
Motion of adjournment of meeting, Madam Speaker, in terms of rule 53.
And what does it further say?
Right, Madam Speaker. In terms of rule 53, the standing rules of orders of council, I hereby move that this meeting be adjourned and reconvened on an alternative date, 8th July 2025 at 10 o'clock, Council Chambers, Vredenburg. And the motivation behind that is, Madam Speaker, there's people busy talking while I'm on the floor, Madam Speaker.
Oh my word.
Can you please allow them to give me the time to speak? Let us respect each other, man. We're not kids here, man. We're busy here with serious things, man. We're not here to play. Can I continue, Madam Speaker?
Councillor, you raised a motion. Is there a secondment? And then you also need...
Madam Speaker, I'm still busy reading it. The motivation for the motion is brought due to the following reasons. insufficient time to conclude all agenda items, or the need for further documentation or reports before proceeding. Items are 7, 6/25, up to /65, /6, 2025, and then also agenda items as per addendum 1, R117 up to R119, /6, 2025, addendum 2, R69, /6, 2025 up to R74, /6 up to 2025, and then R75, /6, 2025, and then the in-committee items R101, /6, 2025, up to R107, /6, 2025, to ensure that the deliberations on outstanding matters are conducted effectively and with full participation of council members. The adjournment is in line with the provisions of Rule 53, which allows for the adjournment of a meeting either to a specific time and date or to a date to be determined by the Speaker. And the resolution short that Council resolves to adjourn the current sitting of Council in terms of Rule 53, reconvene the meeting on 8 July 2025 at 10 o'clock, and to notify all relevant members and stakeholders accordingly. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. If everybody understood the motion brought, that is in line with the rules of order, is there a secondment for the motion? There's no secondment for the motion. Councillor Rousseau has seconded the motion. Can we vote that we approve the motion?
Madam Speaker,
Yes, sir?
in terms of this rule, Madam, there's no voting.
No.
In terms of this rule, Madam Speaker, in terms of the
Councillor,
rules,
go back to the rules. It always refers back to the standing rules. If there is a motion, it must be voted. Thank you. Can we vote to have the motion approved? There was a secondment. Thank you. Raise your hands in favor for the motion to carry. Ma'am, can you count, please?
4, 5, 6, 7.
7. Against the motion to carry?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 1, 4.
Thank you. Abstain?
3.
3. Abstain. Can you give the results, please, ma'am?
For the motion to carry, 7. Abstain 4. Against the motion, 14.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. The motion is not carried. Whose hand was next to speak on any clarity for items? Councillor Luando.
No.
Apologies, yes, apologies, Councillor Luando. Councillor Boy's hand was first. Apologies.
Madam Speaker, I was still busy.
No, you forfeited your stay. Sorry, Councillor Boy was before you. Apologies,
Can you say
Councillor.
please, man?
Councillor Boy's hand was first.
Yes.
Apologies.
No, man. Sit. Don't shout here.
Councillor Boy, please continue. Thank you.
Goeiemôre, councillors.
Raad. Môre.
Meyer. Speaker, my vraag is,
Speaker, my question is,
hoekom is daar sekere impact
why is there certain impact
items wat deel is van die groot agenda
items that are part of the big agenda,
en van die impact
some of the impact
items is in die geel bladsy?
items are on the yellow pages.
Is dit nie deursigtig en dat die gemeenskappe buite moet weet
Isn't that
What?
the community outside, they must know exactly
wat in die munisipaliteit aangaan? Hoekom is ek wil net clarity, hoekom word dit so gehanteer?
I just want clarity as to why is it handled like this?
Daar is nummer 1 speaker. En dan item R29 625. Ek wil net vra vir die departement administrasie.
Department Administration,
Dit kom telke male onder my aandag.
it comes to me under my attention.
dat daar wordt aansoeken gedaan
There is applications that are done,
naar die departement toe
it goes to the department,
en daar is geen communicatie.
and there is no communication.
Aansoek nummer 1, die
Application number 1,
is die Hopefield Islamitic Society se aansoek vir GBV grond langs die masjid.
the GBV field for the mentioned group.
En nummer 2 is 'n Magerman dame Lorita Magerman wat aansoek gedoen het vir 'n social park, geen kommunikasie.
The social park refers to the lady that was mentioned, but no communication is on that.
Dis van die aansoeke wat deurgegaan het.
These are the two examples of applications that are in through.
Nommer 3 is die appel
Number 3 is the appeal.
wat in die guns van die skietbaan die Hopefield shooting range gegee is.
That the whole shooting range
Dat daar geen kommunikasie deurgegee is aan die bure van die grond dat die aansoek goedgekeur is.
there was no communication in that regard as well.
Laat ons kyk na die aansoeke en die kommunikasie van die departement.
And all the communications that must come from the departments.
Nommer 4. Ons sit met honderde munisipale eiendomme.
We see with 100 and more municipal grounds.
Byvoorbeeld 60 jaar terug se huurkoophuise, Siabo skema huise,
Example, those 600 years back houses,
die Maxwell Moscow en Hopefield,
the ones at Oakfield as well.
waarvan een persoon 3 rekeninge het, 2 kragboksies, 3
Where one person
watermeters op sy naam het.
3 electrical bills and water bills under one person.
Laat ons kyk dat daai oordragte so gou as moontlik gedoen raak.
And we have a look at that is speedy response.
Dan as ek by infrastruktuur,
And infrastructure,
speaker, die raad sal 'n besluit moet neem.
and the council should take a decision item.
Dit is item R51.
No, that's the claims.
Dan gaan ons na R52, 53, 54 toe. Housing. Maar housing is hier op hy report hier. En is deel van die departement.
And it's part of that department.
Is weer leemte.
Very legal.
Laat ons regtig dat ons die gemeenskap van Hopefield regtig inlig wat is die proses van RDP huise op Hopefield en watter grond gaan beskikbaar gestel raak vir RDP huise op Hopefield.
Regarding the RTP project in Oakfield.
I thank you, Speaker.
Dankie, raadslid Witbooi. Raadslid Kotse, kan ek die MM eers vra om te respond voor ek u hand neem? Is dit reg so?
Thank you, Speaker, and good day to all the councillors. I'm going to try to respond on some of it. Most of it, as the Mayor said, was basically statements, and for us to take note and to see how we can make that better. And thank you very much for that input, councillors. With regard to the community halls, the community halls are, I think that project is finished. We just have, I think there's still a snag list that is outstanding with and we also have retention on that specific project, so they need to complete certain stuff before they get their last payment. So we'll just follow up with the department to find out exactly where they are. But thanks a lot for that. We will make sure that doesn't happen. We will go and check that out there. With regard to the vacancy, I'm not sure whether we have that on our agendas or whether it's still on our organogram, but it's being advertised right now at this point. That vacancy is being advertised now. Maybe, Louis, if you can maybe just add to that quickly, the 2 points in terms of the hall and so forth.
Thank you, MM. Thank you, Speaker. Councillors, thank you. Just report back on the questions that was asked by Councillor Williams. As the MM has alluded, the Building Maintenance Department is responsible for the project. Those aspects that you are not satisfied or is incomplete, give us a list for it. There's a retention on the project that they can attend to that. In terms of the caretaker of Langwell, it's one of those positions that we already started now the process. It will be filled in the new financial year, caretaker Langwell. Your question regarding the senior sports coordinator, in terms of municipal staffing regulations, the posts have to be advertised in the whole of South Africa. We only advertised it then in the West Coast District Municipality area. That's why we appointed someone from the West Coast. And must stress, experience and qualifications was quite vital. It was part of the job description, and we appointed someone in terms of that as advertised. Councillor Morrison, regarding the EPWP, you will see that report is till the end of April, 1.6 million. So we have May and June, 800, say 900. Our expenditure is about 900 a month. So we have for the 2 months, 1.6. So that's why we ended the contracts now, because the project has closed, the money is finalized. We can't overspend on that specific vote. So the new intake for EPWP will start from June with the new budget that has been approved, July, sorry Speaker, that has been approved by Council. In terms of the capital spending, that is old figures. I think it's now 71 plus currently for spending of the capital budget. And then with the resorts, yes, we take note what you say, Councillor, but also from out of a possible 13 million income, we already collected the 12 million for the resorts up till now. So yes, but there can be improvement in the resorts. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Director. Has answered all of his questions. There's still questions outstanding from IPS as well.
Chairperson, Chairperson, in terms of the rules of order, there is a section specifically in there which says what items can be discussed in committee and what must be discussed out of committee. We also have the POPI Act and all of that other things that needs to be adhered to, and based upon that we decide what goes into the impact in committee and what is in the general committee. So even when we have the impact, there's a part where we do the general items, and there's a part where we do the in committee items, and that's why it comes to you specifically as is a general part and an in committee part, and it has to be handled like that. But that is judged based upon soon as names is being named, it normally goes into the and salaries and that kind of things. It normally goes into the in committee part of council. So that is the way we handle it. Kumi, you want to add?
No.
Very good. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Councillor. We have discussed what happened in the portfolio committee. There was an extensive discussion on the Hopefield housing situation, and we have told you that we will come through. We again re-emphasize that. The reason why some of these items that you have mentioned is not yet before council is because it's still in the process. And I will just find out, you've mentioned the social park and so forth. I'll find out from the relevant department where it is, and then I will give you an offline feedback as to where all that in terms of the progress is. We will look into the communication, as you said, that we need to communicate with the neighbors also. We will look into that strategy with regard to that. But normally we give answers to the people that applied, and it's then up to them. You want to just add to that?
On the Hopefield skid farm, it was dealt with in terms of the appeals process. So there was the people that directed their appeal, they were notified, and from the petition that was given, we communicate in terms of our bylaw with the leader of that petition, and that's in relation to our bylaw. But they have been communicated with everybody that objected and had an appeal against that process in terms of the land use and planning bylaw.
Thank you, Director. Directors Mbaleswana.
Thank you very much, Speaker. In terms of the application for the land, we acknowledge when we receive an application, we acknowledge the receipt, and then we start with the process that is internally Because if it's the land, then we need to find out first from internally. But we acknowledge, once we receive an application, we acknowledge we can send the proof. If we have received those applications, we inform the applicant, and then we start with the internal process to determine the land, the use of the land and all that before we can take a report to council. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Director. Councillor Morrison.
Madam Speaker, would you...
No. Apologies, Councillor. He was first now. You must now stand in the queue.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Are you okay?
Yes.
I saw your message of being late.
Yes, Mama. I was fixing something. Goeiemorgen allemaal. Ik zie allemaal is goed en gezond. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, colleagues. Before proceeding with my speech, I would like to thank Director Mbaliswano. I think kasebenzisa ulimi lami tata ngumXhosa. Tata ndiyabulela manje ngomsebenzi omhle kwi department yakho.
Thank you for the work in your department
Osenzele wona during Easter holiday.
that you have done during the Easter holiday.
Law enforcement team were conducting a highly visibility patrols, and asikhange sifumane incident, akhange kuthini.
Receive any incidents,
So tata masibulele lo ndawo.
so we must thank you for that.
But now, Mr. Mbalisano, I have a concern. I don't know ukuba kwenzeka ntoni.
I don't know what is happening.
Maybe niuqinisa umthetho xa
Maybe you are
kuzi holidays, or I don't know, because we have a lot of cameras in our locations, but xa sifumana imililo
when we
nentoni
receive the fire reports,
amancedo siwafumana kade.
we receive help very late.
Funeka sifowune sithini senze means.
We must call and make means.
Kodwa I believe we do have abantu abamonitorishayo cameras to look uba kwenzeka ntoni na kwi-community zethu.
Cameras to look into what happens in the communities.
And the other department, I want to thank Yega, Mr. AB and Mamu Eunice. Basincede kakhulu during ixesha besibelilibi belisehlele pha eWard 1.
Those two councillors that were mentioned also were very assisting during the times that we experienced tough times during the Easter.
It's an official's name, it's not a councillor's.
Okay, it's official.
Yeah, AB and Mamu Eunice. Basincedisile kakhulu sabe kanti umntana besishiyile pha eWard 1 siyakwazi umngcwaba nefamily yakhe yatsho yaxola.
Burying the child that was that deceased in Ward 1.
Colleagues, we have to thank as a department because of the lead ngabantu ezinto bana singabantu now.
They are led by people.
To move forward, colleagues, Mayor, true to you, Speaker, I would like to propose here. I'm not sure if we have or we don't have. Can we have a budget for sport, specific for football? Because of I never hear anyone here talking about football. We must encourage our youngsters to come close to us, not to ignore them. We must build something like a Saldanha tournament here. It's gonna depend.
Councillor, I assume you are active of PCOS with regards to sport.
Sorry, Mama.
Are you now on PCOS?
No. I said, I would like to send a proposal. I know it's not. I call up a budget, ma. Okay, no, it's fine.
Speak on that and stick to the agenda, please.
Okay, sorry, Madam
And
Speaker.
thank you for the thank you for the departments. We must acknowledge when people do good.
Yes. Addendum 1 EFF support that item, Madam Speaker, but we have to speed up the process of filling these positions. And also addendum 2, R71, municipality building and terrains, alienation of residential properties. Yes, we support that,
Councillor,
but
we're not at that item yet. We're only up until 66 and 67, eh? Is that right?
oh, my apologies.
Okay, I will allow you to rise.
I
when
was
we-
late. Okay, no, it's fine. Thank you very much.
Must be the scarf, Madam Speaker.
What?
Must be the scarf.
Thank you, councillors. Director Mbaliswana wants to respond first. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you very much, Councillor. Councillor, the issue of the fires, yes, the cameras are monitoring the fires, but it is too late by the time the cameras can pick up the fire, the smoke. So we've got a number that this municipality is also paying, that we subsidize, that people can call. We've publicized that number. So remember that after 7 minutes, the fire is not controllable. So if people phone earlier so that our guys can come in, we can't say we're monitoring. Yes, cameras as part of the general public safety, they also monitor fires, helping the fire department to monitor the fire. But by the time they see the smoke, that fire is already gone. So we sincerely request people to immediately phone when the fire is starting, so that our guys can respond as quickly as possible. Otherwise, if we're saying we can't rely on the cameras, yes, the guys on the cameras, if they see the smoke going up, then by that time the fire is already beyond our control. So we can't rely on the cameras. Yes, the cameras are assisting, but we advise people to phone the direct line of the fire services that this council is also subsidizing. They're paying a portion of it.
Thank you, Director. Chief Whip of the ANC and then Councillor Morrison.
Good morning, Madam Speaker. Good morning to the public listening, to all our communities, to my colleagues on this side of the table, to everybody, the directors. I am going to just, sorry, the colleagues on that side, I would like to, through you, Speaker, next time when the colleagues on this side speak, I suggest that you do not laugh at them and treat them with such disdain as you have done this morning, because we don't do that with you. So please, in future, can we treat each other as adults and with respect, even though you don't like what we say. We're not here to be friends because we don't visit each other, but we're here to be colleagues. Thank you. Madam Speaker, I'm going to... You're doing it again. Madam Speaker, can you please protect me, because this is not...
Councillors, please, man. Can we respect the person on the floor? Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I'm going to just jump into item 65, which deals with the Impact and the Risk Committee and everything else there. I want to say thank you for the reports. They're comprehensive. I'm not going to speak on any of the items that were in the portfolios, because I did speak, but I just want to iterate something, and that was found amusing by everybody else, that even though we put it over 2 days, it's still not really sufficient time for everybody to give their inputs. And we are asked to give our inputs in writing, which we do, Madam Speaker, and I'm one of them, but it takes days for you to get responses, and sometimes the response is also not equivalent to what you requested. So can we please just see how to space those then, and maybe give every portfolio a longer space of time, where you're giving it 2, there's a full day of 8 hours, make it 3 hours for each, or whatever the fact may be. But please don't just always discard what the councillors say, because they have an issue. I will address the impact, item 117 and item 73, stroke 6 of 25, and item 75 of 6 when we get to that. Because that is not on the agenda as yet, but we will get to that in there. And then I just want to just not correct the MM, but also just iterate what the comrades, or sorry, councillors on this side were saying, is that for us to understand is that the public needs to know everything that happens in this municipality. And I do understand the Property Act, etc., is included, and that you can't mention certain things, and it goes to the risk to the in committee. But there are certain items on that in committee that actually the public should know about. So I raise my concern on that, and I say that unfortunately they're not going to know, and then we'll have to speak about it afterwards. But yes, we will get to it as soon as we do. Thank you.
Thank you. Chief Whip of the ANC. Councillor Kotze, you want to speak now or after Councillor Morrison?
No, Madam Speaker, I just wanted within the view of what Councillor Williams earlier said, should I speak, but on the same Councillor Witbooi spoke, and I think he alludes to the fact that I'm a subject of a disciplinary committee, while his colleague is sitting here.
What is your point of order, Councillor Kotze? Please sit down, because I'm not sure where you at now. Thank you.
Speaker relevance.
Your mic, sir, your mic.
Number 40, Speaker relevance. Councillor Kotze is out of order. I don't think there is an official letter that was served to my colleague Councillor Witbooi. So please call him to order, Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Williams. Councillor Williams is actually correct. Councillor Witboi's name is not mentioned on any item of this agenda. Thank you, Councillor Kotze.
He's the subject of a criminal investigation, Madam Speaker.
I'm not aware of that. Thank you, Councillor. Sorry, Executive Mayor.
Nee man. Speaker, dat ek, as die Mayor klaar is, dat ek myself beskerm gee.
Madam Speaker, I didn't want to speak, but I've got to rise on that. You know, a certain amount of heckling, which is normal, is acceptable. But Councillor Rousseau, I want to point out to you that your Councillor Nkorla or Kumani have said repeatedly in this council, teasing our new councillor for abstaining, laughing at him, which is extremely insulting according to his culture and to his age. Showed him zero respect. Councillor Witbooi told that councillor, esteemed councillor and colleague, to sit down. So if we're going to say something, then we've got to be consistent on it and not just say your side of the table. Things happen in council, and go to the Western Cape Council and you go and see what heckling is. Go to the National Council or the National Parliament and go and see what heckling is. If somebody is not interrupted and not disrespected, but if you're going to call somebody out for being disrespectful, then please be consistent in your own ranks as well, because I sat here and I actually wanted to rise last time. Even Councillor Bleeker is even older than me, and my parents taught me if somebody is older than you, you show them respect. And what she's done in previous meeting, heckling him when he stayed out of voting, heckling him and laughing at him. I took exception to that, but I kept quiet. But now that you raised it, let's then be consistent all round, Madam Speaker. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Executive Mayor. Councillors, I'm going to make one ruling now and say, let everybody respect the rules. And if you want to attack a person, do it outside of this room.
Yeah.
The person on the floor will be allowed to have a say. Councillor Witbooi, I will allow you to speak, but on the agenda, please.
Speaker, wat agenda? Speaker, ek is op R19. Finance. Ek wil net clarity hê. Wat se R2,500 voor die bespiegel? Is ek agterstallig met R2,500 op munisipale skuld? Kan u vir my duidelik, of kan die finance department vir my sê wat se bespiegeling is hier? Want hier word nou 'n verkeerde boodskap na die gemeenskap uitgestuur dat ek hier raad R2,500 skuld. Kan die raadslid duidelikheid maak dat die gemeenskap weet dat hy R91,000 rand se dienste aan die munisipaliteit skuld en hy sit nou nog hier.
He's got actually the amount of 1,000. Madam Speaker, point of order.
What point of order?
Councillor Witbooi, allow it to
No,
raise
what
the
point of order? I will sit, the deputy mayor tell me what point of order.
Can you please sit down, Councillor
I will
Witbooi?
sit,
Councillor,
the
Executive
deputy
Mayor,
mayor
please
must
raise
say
the
what point of
please.
order, then I will sit.
Can you please put your mic off, Councillor?
What?
Can you please put your mic?
Madam Speaker, I'm raising on point 37.2, refraining from personal attacks in council. We are not here to attack each other. We are here to stick to the agenda and to stick to the order of business today. And if the councillors continue to be rowdy, I am going to call another point of order. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Hoe het die deputy nie 'n point of
Councillor
order?
Witbooi,
En
dit-
was het speaker,
Councillor-
hoekom het die deputy mayor nie 'n point of order gesit toe ek getek raak het?
Madam Speaker, point of order.
Councillor Witbooi,
Die
can you
word
please
wit
sit
belange
down?
beskerm, maar die word wit belange beskerm.
Councillor Witbooi, please sit down. Thank
Die
you.
word wit belange beskerm. Klaar.
Thank you,
En jy
Councillor
wil-
Witbooi.
Ek praat nie met jou nie.
Councillor Witbooi. Thank you. I'm going to rule on the point of order that the Deputy Mayor has raised. She is correct. Councillor, please allow.
Speaker, kan jy my beskerm? Speaker, kan jy vir my beskerm?
Councillor Kotse.
Kan jy my beskerm van die raadslid? Speaker, kan jy vir my beskerm?
Councillor
Kan die
Kotse.
raadslid die raadsaal verlaat? Of
You
as
will-
iemand of hy verantwoordelik gehou word vir die insident wat hier gaan gebeur?
Councillor Kotse. You are saying you murmured something to him that upset him. Can you please, councillors, please, man, can you behave? Are you now playing for the audience that's watching? Are you now showing the community how?
I don't play for the audience.
Madam
I
Speaker,
don't play for the audience.
Madam Speaker, can I put in a request, please, Madam Speaker?
No, thank you. Can you cut the live stream, please? Thank you. Councillors, please.
I
Thank
raise on
you.
point 36.
I didn't acknowledge your hand. I was still speaking, and Councillor Witbooi, when I speak, you're supposed to sit down and keep quiet. That is also part of the rules. You're now misbehaving and totally a disregard for the rules. I am still on the floor and I'm speaking. Thank you.
Speaker.
Councillors, can we all of us, respect the rules of this house?
Not only the
Councillor Kotze, you were out of order in bickering him. and then I will allow Councillor Beagle.
Madam Speaker, can I request a 5-minute break, please, ma'am? I think we just need to cool down and cool off. Please, Madam Speaker.
I note your request, Councillor Beagle.
Thank you very much, Comrade Speaker. Good morning for everybody. More special for the mayor and the councillors, all councillors. But to me, I receive so disgrace. Old people act like a child. These things are we discussing now here. It's not in the agenda. Our people are suffering, starvations surrounded. But we here, we're just playing. Please, let us be adult, not like a child. What is it? 18 when? Yeah. Speaker, kuphela koko benifuna ukraise ngoba apha sikhangele ngathi ngabantwana abancinci base crash. Nkosi kakhulu.
Thank you, Councillor Beagle. Councillor Williams.
Speaker, thank you. Speaker, number one, I'm a little bit unhappy, frustrated because of the live stream that was cut during the sitting. There was.
Councillor Williams,
let me just finish, Speaker.
Go and read the policy that we approved, which says the following: that if I request the live stream to be cancelled, it will be done. Because, am I right? Must I resend the virtual policy and the actual council policy with regards to virtual streaming?
Yes,
we
please.
Approved a streaming policy and nobody objected to it.
Yes, please, Speaker.
Thank
Because
you.
that
So
is
now
why.
you can sit down.
Speaker,
Thank you, because
Speaker,
you raised on a policy that was approved by all of us. Thank
Speaker,
you. Councillor Morrison, you
Speaker, I'm not finished, Speaker.
No.
Speaker, I'm not finished. That was my first. I said point number one.
Okay. So do you
Right?
understand now? I had the right.
I
Thank
understand.
You.
Thank you, Speaker. Point number two, Speaker. I'm talking now specifically to Councillor Kotze, through you, Speaker. It is not the first time that he is behaving like he did just now. So we really need to act against Councillor Kotze, because every time when Councillor Witbooi is speaking, he's teasing him. So we really need to talk to Councillor Kotze, because he is out of order and he is busy creating something that is unforeseen. Please, Madam Speaker, I'm begging you as a whoop of good. Thank you.
Thank you. Of good. Councillor, are you okay? You want to leave?
Madam Speaker, can we please have that 5-minute recess?
On a sec, Councillor Williams. Sorry, Morrison.
Yeah, I was alluding to the recess, Madam Speaker, and it. Sorry. Yeah, I just wanted
You
to
want the
request.
comfort break? Okay.
Yeah, please, Madam Speaker, and then afterwards to recognize me to speak again, please, ma'am. Thank you.
No.
Whoop of council. No, whoop of council. There was a request for a recess for a comfort break. I will allow it. We will be back in 5 minutes. Thank you.
We don't need it, Madam Speaker. We are very busy. Why we don't proceed?
You are only two councillors here.
It doesn't matter. We don't need a recess.
Councillors, please.
Madam Speaker, we don't need a recess. You can proceed. You can proceed with the business as usual. We don't need it. We can't be pulled by those two gentlemen there. No, we don't need it.
Point,
43.6, Madam Speaker. Your ruling is final. Can the councillors please abide by council rules? Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
I will allow the recess requested because I know for a fact that Councillor So is not well. So, and she requested it also, although full council must agree, but I will allow the recess. Thank you, thank you, Councillor So. We will have a 5-minute break. It's now 11. Everybody seated. Thank you. Councillors, thank you. Council meeting in session again.
Put on a live stream, make sure the live stream is on.
Please reconnect the live stream. It's on. Thank you. Councillors, thank you. I've allowed debate on all the items that was there. The Executive Mayor has proposed items 9 up until 65, which of course 66 and 67 we must deal with. Can I have a secondment for that? Thank you, Councillor Mama.
Madam Speaker,
Councillor Morrison.
I was asked to be recognized, please, and I was still busy. I was asked to be recognized, please, Madam Speaker, and you gave me the...
Okay, continue. You want, is there still points of clarity? You can raise the
yes.
items. You're not going to make speech. You can raise points of clarity for the portfolio.
Item 25, Madam Speaker. This item is about the legal cost for the disciplinary matter. There's a cost of 37,950 rand, which is reflected, cost incurred. And I must state for the record, Madam Speaker, this figure is highly misleading and does not represent a true financial reality of this
Councillor,
case.
you're already making a statement.
Madam Speaker, I need...
Question
There is questions.
No, that's a statement.
Okay, Madam Speaker, there was 75 sittings in total. If you take the 37,950, it comes down to 2.8 million rand for an internal disciplinary hearing.
Councillor,
and here's the
out
questions.
of order. Please sit down. We're not there with disciplinary hearings. Thank you.
Madam
If you
Speaker,
don't
it's
have
part
any
of the-
other matters to raise on the portfolios, you can sit down.
I have other questions. I have questions pertaining to this item, Madam Speaker.
Councillor, the information was in the agenda, in the portfolio, where you also had time to send the correctness of it, and you didn't. So if you're not going to raise other matters, then you may sit down. I had a proposal for items 9 to 65.
Madam Speaker, I have questions on that
63,
item.
65, 66, and 67.
Madam Speaker, I have questions on that item.
We will not discuss it. It was concluded.
Madam Speaker, at the time of the portfolio meetings, I didn't have the information to my disposal, Madam
I will
Speaker.
not allow internal disciplinary processes to be discussed.
Madam Speaker, it's part of the agenda, Madam Speaker.
No, that's not part of the agenda.
It
Thank
is,
you.
Madam Speaker.
That is for noting purposes, the cost of the legal. Thank you, Councillor. Whip of Council. Okay, will you second, please?
Madam Speaker, point of order, point of order.
Raise on your point of order what it is.
Rule 37, Madam Speaker, right to speak.
You had your right to speak and you did not use it. You continue.
But you're disallowing me, Madam Speaker.
You continue to make statements that is false and not relevant to the items. I'm sorry.
I've got relevant questions.
I have the right to make you quiet. You will sit down. Thank you. Councillors, can we deal with item 53 on the agenda before we continue? Item 53 is the aldermanship, 63, the aldermanship that was awarded to 2 councillors, the executive mayor, Councillor Andre.
Madam Speaker.
And then also Councillor Leonard Mitchell.
Madam Speaker.
They have been awarded aldermanship, and I want to congratulate them and say thank you for your service as being a councillor. And I think it is worthy of it. I did say in the Mako meeting, why does the WCDM people can go and take sizes and get a jacket, and all of us as aldermen has not get anything? It's a very good recognition and a diploma afterwards. But from my side, congratulations, Councillor and Executive Mayor.
Madam Speaker, can you recognize me, please?
Can the Mayor and the Councillor please come forward so that the municipal manager...
Madam Speaker, can I be recognized, please?
No, Councillor, you will put down your hand.
Bly still, man. Madam Speaker, do you see that thing now? I'm busy addressing
because
you.
You don't
and
even
then
recognize me when I speak. The rule says you must sit down and keep quiet when I ask you to do so. If you're going to continue this, I'm going to have to ask them to remove you from the council. Thank you.
Speaker.
Councillor, you're doing it again. Thank you. Councillor Williams, can we allow the ceremony to the congratulate first, or you do want to do the congratulations?
Madam Speaker, can you recognize me, please?
Thank you, councillors. Councillor Williams, your hand was up.
Thank you very much, Speaker. Speaker, I'm raising point 36. Before we adjourn, Speaker, and I've raised my concern, and through you, Speaker, Councillor Kotze is still not listening. So as the whip of good, Speaker, I'm going to lay a charge against him by whip of council so that we can do a thorough investigation, because it cannot continue like this. We all ask that we respect each other, but still, when people is on the floor, he's teasing. So as whip of council, we will raise, or we will lay a official complaint by whip of council. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor Williams. Whip of good, I take note, and whip of council. I'm sure that you will certainly deal with the matter. Thank you. Can we now proceed? Thank you. Councillor Morrison, I said we're going to deal with 66 and 67. Do you want to speak on 66 or 67?
Madam Speaker, that item that I was busy talking on alludes to the cost incurred and not the process. I just want to clarify that with you. It refers to the cost implications. So if you look at that item, you'll see they're talking about cost. We're not talking about the disciplinary matter or the process. So it falls under this item. Can I continue? May I continue, Madam Speaker?
No. Councillor, that cost is for the cases that's mentioned in the item. Thank you. That's why the cost is there. The cost that's mentioned.
Can I question that cost, please, Madam Speaker? Because I've got questions.
So you raise the question on the cost, and the municipal manager will respond. Thank you.
Okay. The questions is...
No, Councillor, you can speak afterwards. You raise the question on the cost. Amen? Give the clarity on the cost in the item.
Chairperson, I'm willing to take it offline with the councillor to explain it to the councillor. There's no problem with that. I do not have the documents in front of me. Do not exactly understand what councillor is referring to at this stage.
Madam Speaker.
Councillor, the item is quite clear. There's all the cases that is there, and then it tells you of the cost that was incurred for the items in that portfolio item, for all the cases that was done, and that was the cost in there. So I'm not going to allow you to continue to question the cost. The cost in that item is for the cases raised and mentioned in that item. So if you're not going to speak on anything else, and you're going to continue to be disregarding my ruling, I'm going to ask you to leave. Thank you. Will you speak on item 66 and 67 that is now before council, or are you rising on something else? Because we are now on 66 and 67, the appointment of the two directors, because I need to request a certain director to leave.
He's already left.
He's already left. Thank you. Can we deal with item 66? Can I have a proposal and a secondment? A proposal, because we need to propose somebody to serve on the committee. The Executive Deputy Mayor, can you propose who will be the councillor on the committee?
Madam Speaker, I'm proposing Alderman Mamabolo as that director currently falls under her as the MACO member.
Thank you. Can I have a secondment for that proposal for the EETS? Secondment is Councillor America. Any questions for clarity? Thank you. Proposal accepted and item unanimously adopted. Item 67, Director IPS, Councillor Williams, Hope of Good.
Speaker, I propose Councillor Ricardo van der Merwe because he's also part of that portfolio IPS.
Thank you. Is there a secondment for that? The Executive Deputy Mayor Chairperson of Portfolio has seconded. Unanimously accepted? Unanimously accepted. Thank you, councillors.
Patience. Yeah. Can you please ask whether the MM discuss it with the... Can I ask?
Will you explain the specialists that will be also part of the committee because that's in the regulation? Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker. In terms of the regulations for both of these positions, we need to invite a specialist. The previous time, with regard to EETS, we invited Mr. Thees Muller, who is the energy and electricity senior manager in Swartland. We will ask for the permission of council if we can discuss that with the mayor, because unfortunately you can't just mention somebody. They need to be available at that specific time when we ask that, and if it's been order for council to approve that, we organize that specifically with the mayor and the councillors that's been nominated for that position when we come to that specific point.
Thank you, Municipal Manager. Is the proposal accepted? Thank you. Thank you, Councillor Williams. Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Thank you. Councillors, then am I...
Can I just say something?
Oh, yes, you may, Executive Mayor.
Madam Speaker, I think we would be amiss, and maybe we can call the director back before I speak. Is it possible? Because he's
probably smoking. Can somebody please call back the director?
He's on his way, Madam Speaker.
Madam Speaker, as I spoke in the MACO and the minutes will show, I think we would be amiss to start a process, and I'm sure there will be an official geleentheid, I'm missing opportunity in the future, but Director, let me start by saying it will be disrespectful for us to start a process without me as the leader of council saying to you, thank you very much for the contribution in many, many years. Maybe we shouldn't say how many because then they'll figure how old you are. But thank you for the valuable contribution that you've made. Thank you for the people that you've empowered and put in places that continues to serve this municipality. And I just want to remind Council that infrastructure is the backbone of service delivery to our communities. So from us all, we would just like to say thank you very much. We hope there's an official opportunity going forward. I'm sure there will be, but I didn't want you to be excused, and I think it's disrespectful without at least us saying thank you very much. We truly appreciate and respect the input that you've given. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you, councillors. I am now at addendum 2, item 69. We continue with the white paper agenda. This is the section 33 for the landfill site, and I want to say thank you to the contract owner that did the proper process. It's page 339 on my agenda. Can I have a proposal and a secondment? The Deputy Mayor proposed and the whip of council has second. Any questions for clarity? None. Thank you very much. Then I am at item 70/6, the feedback from Alderman Kuhn on his visit with Councillor Williams. I haven't received any declaration, so it means I didn't get any gifts. So, is there anybody that wants questions for clarity from the two councillors that was abroad representing council? Because I think the report is quite comprehensive, and also thank you Alderman Kuhn for the report and Councillor Williams for both of you. Thank you. Can I have a proposal and a secondment to note the report? Thank you. Executive Deputy Mayor and Councillor Williams. Then I'm at item 71 on page 416. Proposal. There was supposed to be amendment to the proposal. What of the DA, you said you wanted to say that it must be for Paternoster people only. Because, can you just allude to that? Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Yes, Speaker. The amendment should be that the proposal is it should only be for Paternoster people and not for Friedenberg or Saldanha, only for Paternoster residents.
Okay. So the proposal is to be amended that it should be the first option should be to the previous disadvantaged communities and the residents from Paternoster first before anybody else. Am I correct? Thank you.
Yeah.
Is this allowed to amend?
Yes, yes, Chairman, we can have them, we can give first right of refusal or first option, but we cannot make only. That will be illegal.
First option. Thank you.
Can I just make sure?
Director Baliswana?
Yeah, we can add preference, but we can't say only for, what we're proposing here is for the municipal area. Otherwise it would be illegal. So we can say the preference will be given from the people of the Paternoster. Otherwise we're going to advertise for the people of the municipal, within the municipal area.
Thank you. Everybody in agreement? Councillor Witbooi?
Ja, Speaker, vir my is dit net nie teleurstellend nie, maar is vir my nuus dat dit op Paternoster geïmplementeer raak. Hoeveel services in Hopefield, St. Helena Bay en daai plekke, hoekom het ons dit in globaal gedoen van, ek bedoel, soos 'n dorp soos Hopefield, daar gaan huise moontlik 20, 30 opkom, maar daar kan opportunities kom.
Is translating.
Dis hoekom ek maar so Engels en Afrikaans. Meng, ja.
You can continue, sir.
Dat daar so 'n opportunity vir Hopefield te gaan kyk hoeveel service erwe beskikbaar is en ook op tender in preference to people of Hopefield. En dan wil ek net een stukkie bysit dat daar met Hopefield se industrial soos crops en Hopefield wind farm en mooi ook gepraat, wat kan hulle bydra tot housing, hulle social responsibility for housing tot Hopefield se inwoners. I thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor. But when Councillor Scholes, your hand was up. You wanted to second the item. Thank you. Councillors, the item is adopted with the amendment as proposed, but Councillor Witbooi, so when the item came, I went to the administration to say, die beklei mos nou vir Hopefield, so nou wat dan nog aan die burg in die baai. So the administration informed me, and I think Director Baliswana can allude to this, that they started with Paternoster because it was a leased group of properties, but they are now busy with Hopefield first, no? For Vredenburg in Langebaan, in St. Helena Bay, but it is coming and it will be in the same principle. So thank you, administration, for that initiative. Thank you very much. Councillors, thank you. Then that item is approved and adopted. Then I'm at item 72. Approval for the human resource policy, and that is to be in line with the MSR regulations. Can I have a proposal and a secondment? Councillor Williams.
Speaker, just a question.
Okay.
Speaker, I don't know, please correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think this policy has been workshopped already by us. So can we please ask that this policy be workshopped before we approve this policy today in council? Please, Madam Speaker, thank you.
Councillor Williams, will you respond or must the director respond?
Yes, Speaker, this is just a strategy. It's not a policy. It's got no financial implications. It's straightforward. If you look at the policy, it's an administrative process that we want to put in place to shorten the complaint that was from the council in terms of shortening the period of that we take to fill the vacancies and the appointments, so that we can implement. We can workshop it if council wants, but for me, it's not that much critical. It's an administrative process to shorten the process, which has got implication on management, not on employees or anybody.
Thank you. Follow up, Councillor Williams.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, I understand fully what the director is saying. Just my concern, we have to workshop this because all the other policies has been workshopped before it came to council for approval. Because there is certain concerns that we have to raise before we can get clarity on this policy. Thank you, Speaker.
Councillor Williams, your concerns is noted and raised. I'm going to allow one of the LLF members, Chief Whip of the ANC, to speak now also. Thank you.
Praise the Lord. Okay. Madam Speaker, thank you for the opportunity. I'm going to deal with item 73 afterwards, which is also part of this. It's coming. I'm part of the LLF, yes, and it was workshopped with us as the LLF. I understand it, but I understand that the rest of the councillors do not, and that it's important that we also give them the opportunity by workshopping it with them. I have concerns after being in the LLF and listening to everything. I had concerns then, I raised them, I still have concerns in regards to the pushing of this. I understand that we want to fill the vacancies as quickly as possible. We want it to work forward, and that the municipality, that we've been having this imbalance with the vacancies being filled, that it gets rectified. But I do feel that before we pass this, can we have the workshop so that everybody can be on par? I know that the MM shaking his head and everybody's saying no, but consider that, Madam Speaker, because it is important for us as well as councillors, even though the rest are not on the LLF. We deal with workers outside all the time. We deal with that in the community, people asking questions. So it would be sufficient that they workshop it and that they also understand. But yes, the concerns are there, and I will raise them in the next item. Thank you, Madam.
Thank you, Chief Whip of the ANC, and thank you for recognizing that it was done through the LLF, because the policy has, it's an administrative process, because remember in our portfolios, even me, I question why the process is taking so long now after the MSR implementation to fill positions, and that's why we, positions being filled must be done within 6 months, and it takes sometimes more than 9 months or even a year, and that's why the policy is an administrative guideline, and it can't be in contradiction with the MSR, which it is not. So the LLF has adopted it, and that's why it comes to council, because council must also adopt it. Councillors, we need to approve this because we would streamline the administrative process, but I will ask the director that we can still workshop it, because remember, council can still give their inputs and it can be changed because it's a live document. Thank you, councillors. There was another hand. Sorry, apologies, Executive Mayor, and then Councillor Morrison.
Yeah, Speaker, I just wanted to, I have no problem with it being workshopped later. I just want to point us to page 427. We as a council have asked and expressed our concerns of the time span that it takes to get through the process of appointing an employee. This is a strategy. This is not a policy. This is an administrative strategy to make this quicker. paragraph on 427, Madam Speaker, the regulations also states that the strategy must be included, timeframes for various activities included in the recruitment and selection processes. It's therefore beneficial for the municipality to develop a strategy to fill the vacant post within the required 6 months to ensure compliance with legislation. So therefore, Madam Speaker, I request that we, and I'm asking the council to work with, so that we can pass the strategy and then we can discuss it later. If we have a concern, we can change it and nothing stops us. But in the meantime, it helps us to get people in their positions. Please, council, thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Morris, will you second?
Yes, Madam Speaker, I just wanted to allude that my two colleagues have raised about before we adopt this thing, that we workshop it properly, because there's some concerns under item 73 as well.
Councillor, there's a proposal for item 72 and a secondment, and I want to say thank you to the LLF members, because remember we put you there as members of this council representing ours, so thank you Councillor Russell also for alluding to that. Alderman Mama Vaughan has seconded the adoption of it. Is there any counter proposal? Because we will workshop it afterwards. We can still change it. Thank you. Councillor Williams, you acknowledge. Councillor Morrison. Thank you, councillors. Item adopted. Then I'm at item 73. I will now allow questions for clarification. Councillor Morrison. Councillor Morrison, apologies. C raised first. He said you wanted to speak on 73. Chief Whip of the ANC. You will have the opportunity to speak.
Madam Speaker, let him speak first.
Fine.
Yeah, please, I'm feeling nauseous.
Yeah, yes, Madam Speaker, as previously alluded, we need to workshop it because there's quite a lot of things that's unclear and with great uncertainty and with grave concern. I'm going to mention only a few. There's a technician for aircons, paralegal officer, tourism coordinator, among others. And then there's redundancies. So, yeah, seriously, we need to workshop this so that we can have a clear understanding of the decisions that might be taken in terms of those positions, consultation processes, those type of things. We need to seriously look into these matters before passing this thing. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you for your comments. I noted. Chief Wood.
Madam Speaker, I have to, as the ANC, we also have a few concerns in regards to item 73 with the staff establishment. There's a whole list of vacancies that, or positions that need to be filled, and there's, as the colleague of the PA was saying, there's redundancies, etc. I feel that we need to sort of step back for a few seconds and just work through this policy and work through the staff establishment so that we can understand. Yes, this was also discussed at length with the LLF, if I'm not mistaken. I'm feeling really unwell. But yes, I would prefer that, the ANC would prefer that we workshop this and work through this, and that we could completely understand this forward planning and the proposed staff annexure, as in annexure F, etc. So that we can get to the bottom of understanding all of these vacancies that are going to be filled. I know that, sorry, Director.
Please
Madam
continue,
Speaker,
Director.
Is there something that I've said that is not according to your liking? I have some other, I just want to get to it quickly, please, Madam Speaker, if you don't mind.
Your notes?
Yeah, on my phone. I for example, sure, we have 25 law enforcement posts that are going to be filled, and I've got a lot of questions in regards to that. There's 3 extra posts that are needed in various departments. I don't know, the IDZ skills, it's a worry. Our tourism development is lacking, and we're going to get to that with the impact just now. There's so many things that are in this item that just doesn't sit well or doesn't sync well that I can understand and feel comfortable with it. So I have to agree, the ANC has to agree with the PA that we need to look at it more in depth. Please, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Councillor Russell. Executive Mayor.
Madam Speaker, I just want to point on a point of clarity. This is not a policy. This is administrative function. This is not our place. We can ask why you're wanting to put somebody there to motivate it. This is our directors that looks at the way that they must deliver services on what we've instructed them through the IDP process. They then go to their teams work up to the directors motivate to the MM, they bring the structure back to us to approve, to be able to supply that. There are positions that are vacant, Madam Speaker, because we only have certain amount of money, but they have to be there because in future we may have money available, then they are on the structure. But if they're not on the structure, we cannot fill them. So that's why they, even when they're vacant, they are reflected on the structure so that say we make a saving or money is available in the next rollover budget, then we can fund those positions. So that's why they are there. But I just want to stress this is not a policy. This is an administrative function. And we can ask questions for clarity, but we cannot decide for a director how to run their departments. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Executive Mayor. Director Baliswan, I note your hand. Councillors, there's a summary in the beginning which says exactly what the Mayor has explained now, what, why, and how this is to do with operational matters. I also raised a concern with regards to the law enforcement. Remember, we approved the budget on the 29th of May. The draft went out in March. And then all of these positions were listed. It's just when they were tasked, it came out differently, and that's why it's mentioned there, and it's lower than what they, and that's why it's amended there. And this is to do with the operations that is there. And if you look at the blocks, because I also had all the questions, and then I went to read, and then they responded when I asked questions and raised questions and listened, but no speaker, that one is on the block, but the read there, it's unfunded because it's just there to be funded when the need arises and there is funding. But Director Baliswan, I will give to you now for clarity on all the questions raised, and then I will allow the Chief for a follow-up. Director?
Thank you very much, yes, that is quite correct. This item should not be confused with the strategy above, which is this item is in terms of section 66(1), which is indicating that the council can approve the proposal from the municipal manager. It's saying section 66(1) allows the municipal manager to regularly review the organizational structure to see if it's in line with the service delivery and all that. That's the first thing. That's what we've done here. The MM went through all the department to review what is there was consultation with the director. That was the first thing, and evaluated and review where it's necessary. There's two things that I want us to note here, Speaker and Council, is that the first thing that there were positions that were budgeted, that were requested, were approved by Council in May, that were not on the staff establishment. Therefore, directors cannot fill them. So if we're going ahead, we must remember that. So by 1st of July, this position must be advertised, must be filled, and then we need them. I can mention two. Where trucks is standing, we need a driver and something. So those are critical positions that we need to fill quickly. And secondly, we have identified that we don't want every time to come to council when the budget starts for us to budget position, because we cannot continue to fill the position whereas the budget has been approved. Each territory has been given 5 positions to put on the structure that are not funded. So if you look in each territory, those that are marked red, those positions are not budgeted, so that when is the time for the budget, the director can prioritize from that 5 to say, I want this based on the availability of funding. I think those are the main things. The other things are operational, based on the changes. As the Speaker is saying, that's why if we can ask direct questions so that everything has been motivated here to say why there's changes, why this position is needed, why are we taking this money to fund that. That's basically operations in terms of that. The second issue that has been mentioned here is the consultation. We're not talking about human here, we're talking about the structure. Once the structure has been approved, that's what we've been doing all along. Then there's going to start a process of the placement in terms of placing where people will be informed to say your position here has been moved here, and therefore you are being placed here in terms of that. And looking at the task level, we've looked at everything. So the budget here has been aligned. All the positions that are here, that are funded, are budgeted. Those that are unfunded, that are written unfunded, it means they are not budgeted for. We're still going to come back to council and say, we've got this 5 million, these are the positions that we propose to fund with that 5 million when the money arrives. I think that's basically what it is.
Thank you for the clarity, Director Mbaliswana. Councillor Russell, Chief of the ANC, follow-up.
Do you mind if I stay seated, ma'am? Is that all right? I thank you, Madam Speaker, for your explanation earlier, and also for the Director. I appreciate his explanation. I think that myself and of the other parties' whips might have questions that in regards to this, and I feel that we should now then be given the opportunity afterwards to raise them and engage, not, please, and I'm going to iterate this, not via email. Can we then have in-person contact with the directors and discuss this, and the MM, because as I iterated before, the whole send an email is quite a lengthy process and just doesn't work. Director, thank you for, in your explanation, being clear and not condescending, so that we don't feel like fools when we ask the questions. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Whip of the ANC. There was a proposal and a secondment. Councillor Witbooi.
Ja, Speaker. Speaker, ek wil net 'n point of clarity op 5.1.6, the Directorate Community Operational Service. Speaker, die Director was baie mooi nou bedank. Maar as jy moet kyk, nee.
Sorry, my Alderman Koen moet dringend pak dan.
Oh, maar ek het teatertjie aansit. As jy moet kyk watter poste, die department is 'n backbone van service delivery. Maar as jy moet kyk hoeveel poste in die nuwe organigram geskep raak. Hoeveel hande en voete, veral op die grond, om ons infrastruktuur in stand te hou. Is dit kommerwekkend, Speaker, maar ek dink ons chief op, ek sal my comments op daai direktoraat vir my chief opgee. Maar ons sal regtig moet kyk om te kyk dat daai direktoraat, as ons kyk, ek praat is aan 7 operation, supervising, maar ons het nie general worker poste. En as jy moet kyk, hoe groei ons gebied, die hele municipale gebied. Sint Helena Bay is besig om die volgende lange baan te raak. En Paternoster self. Dan sê dit vir my, die departement se post behoefte, as jy reg na gekyk het. I thank you, Speaker.
Thank you for your inputs, Councillor Witbooi. I had a proposal and secondment. Is nobody a counter proposal? Thank you. Then the item is unanimously adopted. Councillors, then I'm at item 75. Sorry, 74.
Noted.
74, proposal and a secondment. Thank you, Councillor Skeppers and Deputy Mayor. Thank you. Councillors, then I'm at addendum 3 in the white paper. Addendum 3. The WCDM, can I have a proposal and a secondment? Councillor Mamabola proposed. Councillor Schrader second. Thank you, councillors.
Speaker,
Yes, yes, sir.
bietjie te vinnig. Speaker, my input op die item 75.
WCDM.
Ja.
Moet hulle vir ons minder geld vra vir die water?
Is aan ons aanlegte. As jy moet kyk in ons begroting, hoe spandeer ons op die aanleg.
The asset.
Op die assets, ja. Sal ons moet kyk dat laat die volle raad, al is ons meer daar nie, maar laat die verpligting op die volle raad vir die hernuwing van die kontrak al oor 5 jaar, laat dit daar bly soos dit staande is. En dat die water 'n bietjie goedkoper aan ons verkoop raak, asseblief, Speaker.
You should remember you speak now against where you also represent. You serve on the WCDM as well. Councillor Schrader and Koen is looking at you. Chief of the ANC.
Bye, Mama.
Apologies. Your hand is because you sit so quiet.
Oh my God, Chief of ANC. I will train you eyes working here, I can see.
Sorry, man. Chief of the EFF, because if he makes his hands like so, look there next to you, your comrade next to you, he makes like so. You must raise your hand, please.
Thank you very much,
And you must know,
Madam Speaker.
Councillor Rousseau is a very beautiful blonde woman, then I will address myself first.
Oh, okay. True to you, Madam Speaker. Mayor, my proposal is accepted because of I did raise a proposal of having the tournament of Saldanha Bay for the youngsters. I didn't comment on that. I was waiting for you to comment because of I never seen the budget for sports here, but we have the
Point of order, Speaker.
Relevance to this item.
Oh, sorry.
I will.
Councillor, can you
Can
you stick to the agenda, please?
Thank you, Speaker.
Okay, no, it's fine. There is
You and the mayor can speak afterwards about the tournament.
there
Say right.
is enough asking.
Right.
I know we almost finished the
No, we still there's a lot of items, don't worry. Say
there
right.
is 2 left or 3.
No. There's still a lot, don't worry. Say right. And
No, it's fine.
the MN will also sit with funding for soccer, don't worry.
Okay, no, it's fine. Thank you.
Of course. Councillor Beaker.
Thank you very much, Speaker. I am a Chief Whip alone.
Yes.
Speaker, the water really is too high, but God give us free water. Even it's raining now. We did not buy that water. Can at least Mayor try to convince them in the district, because this money is a lot of money that they charge off surround West Coast municipalities, whereas they receive water free. Even in the mountains, it's free. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chief Whip of the MK Party. Executive Mayor, before you respond, allow me for the Chief Whip of ANC for a follow-up.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. No, it's not a follow-up. It's on this item. I'm going to remain seated. I'm not feeling like a really... First of all, the report received is good. Thank you. And the recommendations therein for this West Coast District Municipality water supply is there is a recommendation that in future we should have that ourselves. Yes, it's there. Did you not read it? Not a recommendation, but in part of the report is that it's going to be accepted now for the 5 years, but that there is 2 years, yes. That there is a suggestion that in the future we should be able to manage that ourselves. It's written there. I had a question in regards to why we do not manage it ourselves. If it's our assets that is used. And then secondly, a concern that we continue with the contract with them, and then in the next 2 years has passed, if we're going to have a contract with them again, with their bulk water provision, the costs are extremely high, and our people cannot afford it. We can barely afford it, even ourselves. So the question is, I just want to get to where that is written, that that there is a suggestion or a I don't know if it's a suggestion, I would say, but there is a part where it says that the internal bulk service delivery carries on. It's there. I read it this morning, so I know it's there. That can Saldanha Bay Municipality in future manage it itself, or is that not a feasible option via budget? Not at all. But if that could be explained by the CFO, not the MM, please, and not the Mayor, I would like the CFO to explain because he's the expert. Thank you.
Thank you for your question, Councillor. So, and that's why one of the discussion points was that the new, there needs to be a detailed process because it's not just providing the water, but it's also the
cleaning the water,
the cleaning and all of that, and we don't have the expertise, and that's why there is, but you're right, I also have a concern with the cost, but remember, we referred it back for more detail, and that's why it will come back to council, even not while we are here, because they need to follow a process now. So, Executive Mayor, your hand was up.
Madam Speaker, thank you. We're not a water authority. District, we are water authority, but we own the infrastructure from Witwatersrand to us. We are one of the municipalities that make up that contract. So it's also Swartland, it's also Bergrivier, die drie van ons. So, and I just want to say this for the record, Madam Speaker. When they calculate, they also calculate after the year, and then if they overcharge, they pay us money back. When they pay us money back, we rework that into the price of water. So we don't put that into the general budget. Councillor Biko, the good Lord has been good to us. He's given us a lot of rain, but it doesn't rain in our tanks. We have to transport it over so many kilometers. It is such specialized equipment. Chlorine, for instance, there's one supplier in the country. They determine the price of that. We the price taker, not the price maker. And those who sit with me, Councillor Kotze and CFO, Councillor Rousseau, sit with me in the Budget Steering Committee. I have always fought that water is a source of life. It shouldn't be a commodity that we make profit on to cross-subsidize anything else. So we always fight for the lowest possible price for water, Madam Speaker. And if we get a rebate, we work it back into the next budget so that we can lower the price. And Madam Speaker, if you look historically, there's years where we've had a 0% increase because, or even drop the price, because we could take that money and put it back in. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Executive Mayor. There was a proposal and a secondment. Thank you. Item unanimously adopted. Councillors, thank you. That concludes our business with a white agenda. I'm going to go to the in-committee. Can the feed be...
the people.
And I want to say thank you to the audience, the people in the gallery, for your attendance, and people at home watching the live stream. You may cut the feed. Thank you.